Hey guys, and welcome to the Unit 7 test retake video. At the end of this video, you will get the password to retake the Unit 7 test. And again, this video is made from the most commonly missed questions from the first time around of the Unit 7 test, so pay special attention to these questions and hopefully it will help you on your retake. So starting off here, we have which type of biomolecule is shown in the diagram? And there were several of these on the exams. This proved to be the most difficult one, and I can kind of see why. So, you're looking at this, and the thing that should really pop out are these groups right here, that square and this rectangle. And there were a couple of choices. People either chose nucleic acids or dipeptides. The correct answer, we'll get to that in a sec. We'll look at these and we can see here, because of the square and the rectangle, we can see here this is probably, it's two molecules linked together right here with that bond, right? Because this is the same, the blue, and then black, and this red. This is all the same, right? These are two similar molecules, not the same because they have different groups coming off the side. And if you remember from the lessons that amino acids, there's 20 different amino acids, and they each have a different R group coming off the side. And so these are R groups here. And so we know that these are two amino acids, and if we know that they're two amino acids, then it's a dipeptide, right? Di for two, and then peptide is referring to the peptide bond right here. That's the name of the bond that hold two amino acids together. It just has a special name. It's called a peptide bond. And so di, two amino acids, peptide for two amino acids linked together. They are not nucleic acids, right? Nucleic acids have the bases coming off and they look a little different. When you see a picture like this with these two different R groups, that's a dipeptide. All right, next. On the basis of its name, which of the following is the correct structural formula for pentene? And then you're given four different structural formulas, pictures for pentene, and you have to choose the right one. Now, most people understood that the ENE, it's pentene, so that should mean it's a double bond. There is a double bond between two carbons somewhere in this molecule. And there were two choices that had a double bond. So here were the two choices, and then there was one that looked something. This isn't exactly how they looked, but it looked something like this, right? And it didn't draw the hydrogens in there. Remember, when you're writing organic molecules, you're assuming that these carbons all have hydrogens coming out to give them four bonds. So you knew it was one of these. These were the two with double bonds. Now, how do we know which one it is, right? They both have double bond. Well, we have to look at the beginning. Pent equals 5, coming from pentagon, right? A pentagon has 5 sides. So pent, that prefix pent, equals 5. So pentene, 5 carbons, right? Pent, 5 carbons with a double bond, and we can count here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 5 carbons. Here's our double bond, so this is pentene. This down here would be butene, because but, that prefix, B-U-T, means 4. So that would be butene. So we want this one. We want the one with 5 carbons is pentene. All right, which of the following polymers is found in stockings and ropes? This one you just have to know, guys. There's nothing tricky about this. This is just memorization, and it's nylon. Nylon is found in stockings and ropes, and you can maybe help remember that because your socks, right? If you ever look at or even clothes in general, right? If you look at the fabrics that clothes are made out of, nylon is in a fair amount of clothes, and so it would make sense that you find it in stockings. And ropes are kind of similar to clothes. If you feel them, they're made out of kind of a similar material, and so you find nylon in stockings and ropes. Now, a different version of this question asked about coffee cups. So a different version, it asks which of the following polymers is found in coffee cups, and that coffee cups would be polystyrene. Okay, so if you have the question about stockings and ropes, that's nylon. And then polystyrene is the common polymer in coffee cups. All right, this was another tricky one, identifying the following biomolecule. So this one, hopefully you can see now. Remember this, the key here is you see a phosphate group and a sugar. All right, so hopefully you know what biomolecule has a phosphate group, a sugar, and something else coming off, and you'd be like, oh yeah, nucleic acids. They always have a phosphate group, sugar, and a nitrogenous base. And remember there's 5 different ones, so that's why these look different. They have different, this is the base of it, the nitrogenous base. But the key for knowing that it's a nucleic acid is that phosphate group, that sugar, and then something else, the base coming off. And it always is in like a ring shape like this. It's either a single ring shape or some of them are double ring shapes, but they're always in either a single or a double ring shape, that base. Now, some of you, the answer is nucleic acid. However, remember, nucleic acids make up DNA and RNA. So if it says the illustration represents a part of which of the following molecules, if you have nucleic acids, then that's the answer. If you don't have that, but you have DNA, then DNA would be the answer, right? Because nucleic acids, they make up DNA. So this is very small. There's only 2 nucleic acids. Your DNA is millions of nucleic acids long, but it is a small part of DNA. It could be a small part of DNA. So hopefully we see the difference here now between nucleic acids and up here amino acids and proteins, right? Nucleic acids, you're always looking for that phosphate group and the sugar. Proteins, you will not see the phosphate group and sugar, and you'll see different kind of shaped R groups like that. And then last one up here, another identifying compound here. What type of molecule is the compound shown below? And hopefully we know now that this is some sort of carbohydrate, right? It's a ring shaped and it has these OH groups. And we have an oxygen right there, so we know it's some sort of sugar or carbohydrate. Carbohydrate. And then you get a few choices. You get an amino acid, a monosaccharide, a starch, or a disaccharide. And so we have to look here. So we should know it's not a disaccharide, right? Because we know the prefix di equals 2, and there's only 1 molecule of carbohydrate here, right? Starch is an answer choice. Starch is a polysaccharide. Oops, polysac. All right, you guys get a polysaccharide, meaning there's many molecules of carbohydrates linked together. So that would look something like this, right? You'd have there, and it would be way longer than that. It's many, many of those linked together. We only have 1, so it's not starch. Amino acid was an answer choice, and clearly this is not an amino acid, right? These are amino acids over here with the R group coming off, and they're not in a ring shape like this. So we know it's a carbohydrate, it's in a ring shape, it's not a disaccharide. The only other answer choice is a monosaccharide, and mono means 1. And yep, we have 1 saccharide. Remember, saccharide down here means sugar or carbohydrate. And so 1 sugar, 1 carbohydrate is this right here. There's just 1 of them. So it is a monosaccharide. Monosaccharide. And there it is. All right, guys, I hope that helped. Overall, this was a very good exam. The average was about a 79%. So good luck on the retake, and make sure you write down the password.